Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of The Gavel, featuring attorney Ana Toledo. Ms. Toledo is the senior attorney and general counsel to Targeted Justice. She has a background in constitutional and environmental law and is an experienced litigator, including 2 cases at the U.S. Supreme Court. And here's Ms. Toledo.
Hello, everyone. I apologize for the 5-minute delay, 7-minute delay, but I don't have to explain to you how being targeted makes life a little harder and more challenging, but here we are. No excuses. Please let me know that you can hear me well. I just want to make sure you're hearing me. Somebody please tell me that you're hearing me well. Please. Okay, I'm going to start with a Bible verse that came to me this morning while I was listening. There's a really great station in, thank you, in Houston that is keeping him close by, and it's a 24-hour Christian station, and it's really, really wonderful. So this morning they were talking about James 1 verses 6 and 12, and I'm just going to read to you and see if it resonates with you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Such a person is double-minded and unstable in all they do. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. So as I have said, and you've probably heard me say it ad nauseum, this program has placed many of us in the unique opportunity to prove our faith and to become better versions of ourselves. So let's just be reminded that we have to trust. We have to trust that this is coming to an end. And that doesn't mean crossing our arms. That means fighting back the hardest. I know we're tired, but this is no time to take a rest. This is a time to continue moving forward. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's the only way to defeat, as you very well know, the criminals do everything to censor us. And I am trying to be a voice of reason within all the chaos that they try to throw our way, and also a voice of encouragement to all of you. Okay. I am going to play for you this one. This is the first, yes, the first bestest news of the week. I'm going to play for you, and it's a little long. It's 3 minutes, but you need to hear every single word, and it doesn't need much. It's just really amazing. I can attest
personally that in my work as the director of national intelligence, the deep state is fighting us every step of the way. And
hold on, let me just make sure it's all the way. As you can see, I'm a little discombobulated today, but it doesn't matter. The show must go on, and this is
was hard, and it was.
To show
the road
you.
ahead will not be easy. I can attest personally that in my work as the director of national intelligence, the deep state is fighting us every step of the way. And it exists within every single federal agency. And so I feel the same frustration that I see many of you expressing on X or in different platforms about why aren't things going faster? Why aren't we getting results more quickly? I feel this frustration every single day. We are pushing hard. Know that they are pushing hard back. It's okay. We're not going anywhere. We're here to fight for you and to fight for the red, white, and blue that's behind you. We can't do this alone. It will take all of us who love our country and who deeply cherish our freedoms to stand united in this fight. It's going to come with hardship and sacrifice. As you know, it comes with name-calling and smears and lies and attacks. But here's the beautiful thing, is the harder they push back, the more smears and lies that are published in the Washington Post and the New York Times and the Atlantic and many others, the more we know that we are exactly on the target. And on those days where you might feel a little tired and you might feel a little discouraged, and we all get there at some point in time, I go back and think about what President Trump has been through. He has sacrificed more than anyone else. He has been attacked and targeted more than anyone else. And most significantly, 1 year ago tomorrow was the day in Butler, Pennsylvania, when a gunman tried to take his life missing by just a hair. And so on those days when you feel like you're not quite sure if you have any more fight left in you, think back to that day when he popped right up. He was not cowed. He was not afraid. He was not running away. What did he do? He raised his fist and looked at all of the people who were there, just as you are here today. And he said, fight, fight, fight. And that's exactly what we have to continue to do. Not motivated by hate for those who are trying to take our freedoms away, but by love. I know President Trump is motivated deeply by his love for our country. This is where his strength and his resilience comes from. He is motivated deeply by his care for every one of you, every one of us, the American people, and his commitment to make the most of every single day that he has in the White House to bring about this reality of a country where we can live in peace with prosperity and security and freedom for all Americans.
So there you have it. The deep state is fighting back, and it's fighting back hard. And the way I see it, you see all these floods going on and earthquakes here, and it's the criminals. They are trying to distract because, as she said, they're fighting hard, but we are fighting back. And so this is no time to back off. This is a time to keep on going forward with our quest for freedom from modern day slavery. The fact that we don't hear news, I get it. I get desperate sometimes, like, why isn't anything happening? It doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means that they cannot tell us yet. So please trust, like I said in the beginning of this transmission, we need to trust, and we need to trust that God has our back and will come through for us. This is no time to doubt. So the next piece of news I wanted to bring to you is that even though you might think, oh, this has nothing to do with us because it has to do with the weaponization, etc. Well, it does have to do with us. FBI opens a grand conspiracy probe on weaponization, opening door to a special prosecutor. In this context, remember, you have to send your message to the White House contact form and say, I am a victim of government weaponization, and explain, you don't have to go into a deep dive, but how President Trump, you promised you would end the weaponization of government. And we need it to happen now, not just for the privileged people, not for the people that have contacts at the DOJ, but the average law-abiding American whose lives have been stolen from them because of this weaponization. So they opened this probe into the weaponization, and you're going to say, well, this is not important for us because it has nothing to do with us. But no, it does. let me show you here. You see, the FBI has quietly launched an investigation into a decade of Democratic Party and deep state antics, from Russia collusion to Jack Smith, opening the door for the appointment of a special prosecutor to examine whether the well-documented episodes amount to a criminal conspiracy to meddle in 3 U.S. elections to the benefit of Democrats and the detriment of President Donald Trump. Okay, I get it. I know that many of you are going to say, no, well, I'm a Democrat. That has nothing to do. No. What we want is for the door to be opened for a special prosecutor to come in. And that way, we will get the foot on the door to get the 278,000 illegal FISA warrants that were submitted to the FISA court with fake information about you and about me in 2020 and the beginning of 2021. That is what we need, that special prosecutor to examine. Because once a special prosecutor goes in there to examine what went on with the Russia collusion and all of that, it'll trickle down to the crooked FBI agents that have stolen our lives. And that's why this is important. It's a good step. At least something is coming out. Something is finally being seen that is happening. And that is something that it benefits us all, because as long as they tackle government weaponization, it's for our benefit. Wherever you hear they're working on that. And I would love for Matt Gaetz to be the person that is appointed special prosecutor, because he certainly knows, as some of you have seen in my X, he certainly knows about how law enforcement has been weaponized to target law-abiding Americans. So that's something that is good for us, that it's happening, and we have to be on the lookout for that. And for those of you that are digital warriors, follow the people that are on this weaponization issue and comment on their posts, because that is the one way we can put our foot on the door. Now, regarding the next piece of news is that I think that because of all this Epstein controversy, which I am not going to talk about because it's a distraction, I really wanted everything exposed, because I think that a lot of the CIA criminality will be exposed with those Epstein files. But let's trust that good things are being done for the benefit of everybody. So when this whole debacle happened, Pam Bondi threw a couple of bones at us, and one of them was, let me show you, they fired, no, I don't have it here. They fired some employees that worked on the January 6th Capitol riot. And supposedly 35 employees were fired. About 50 more could face termination. This, in an agency of 17,000 deep state operatives, is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. But it's a step in a good direction. We know that J6ers have been added to the illegal secret categories of the terrorist screening database reserved for people that do not represent a threat to national security, for patriots, for people that oppose vaccine mandates and oppose lockdowns and oppose mass mandates. All of those people, the parents that went to protest in school board meetings because they didn't want their children to be taught about pornography and other gender affirming care and all of that stuff. Well, all those people don't realize that they are in Handling Code 4, that they have been included as violent domestic extremists. And this week, James O'Keefe exposed a person that worked at the FBI at the Threat Screening Center fighting supposedly white extremism. And what happens is that that's what Christopher Wray did to include a lot of people that were not terrorists, include them in the terrorist screening database. Let me just explain something to you. Right now, we need to make alliances. We cannot make divisions. We have to join forces. All the victims of government weaponization, whether you agree with their political party or their ideologies or not, we all have. We are all illegally spied upon. Our lives are affected by the criminal gang stalkers that chase us around. Our lives are affected by the use of directed energy weapons against us. This is no time to be divided. This is a time to join forces. So for those of you that are into the, no, J6ers are not mostly KKK members. I know, I've seen a lot of them, and they are real victims of government weaponization. And I don't like that narrative going on, because that only hurts our efforts to challenge. Remember, the criminals, this is what they do: divide and conquer. When you have a unified group of victims, it's harder for the criminals to silence our voice. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so they are out of the 17,000 deep state, mostly deep state employees at the DOJ. Well, 35 are not going to make a difference, and I know this. And I know this because I fought TJV Garland, and I saw how they fought tooth and nail for hiding the information about the people that have been illegally placed on the terrorist screening database. So I know that there are DOJ employees that are arduously working to hide the truth. Same in the FOIA cases, arduously working to not disclose documents that prove that this program is very real, legal, and it's still going on. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn into a 180 degrees here into one aspect of the government weaponization, not just against people here in the United States, but people abroad. So this woman here says
NPR or PBS ends up in other places. This is so that there is not this warped thought process about the Western world or about the United States. We're talking about making sure that we don't end up allowing people to be radicalized against us because they have a terrible vision of us, because they may be in a government that actually puts out bad, terrible propaganda about us.
Okay, so no, Elmo is not going to stop people from being radicalized. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the same or even worse attacks, directed energy weapons attacks, that are perpetrated on people that are in handling codes 3 and 4 are perpetrated on people in handling codes 1 and 2, which are the known and suspected terrorists. Those people are atrociously tortured outside of the United States. And they know it's the United States doing it. This is yet another reason why we have to speak to our representatives and senators, because this program, what it does is increase those people, the people that are being attacked outside of the United States, the hatred. And this is something that I think most senators and representatives are not aware of, that the CIA and the United States force are doing everything in their power to radicalize people outside of the United States by torturing them with directed energy weapons. And this is something they need to be aware of. So this is no time. We have 21,000 members, over 21,000, and only 100 have signed up for targeted action. What are you waiting for? This is our moment to go demand freedom, to go speak to those in power that can do something about it. You can choose your topic for when asking your senator or representative to talk about, you don't want your electronic communications monitored anymore? Well, talk to them about the illegality of FISA Section 702 and how the criminals at the FBI lie to the FISA court in order to keep on spying on you or to keep you out of your social media. How about waste, fraud, and abuse? We can go and talk to them about fraud, waste, and abuse. What is fraud, waste, and abuse if not the gas stalkers that are constantly following us? That is fraud, waste, and abuse, and illegal surveillance conduct. We also have the government weaponization, which we are the victims of government weaponization, and they are not paying attention. They think it's only Trump or only people in power or rich people. No, it's the everyday American who is suffering the government weaponization, and we know to talk to your representative about it, whether it be in Targeted Action 2025 or in your local office. So please consider it. If you can do it, this is no time to back off. It's the time to show up and demand freedom, all in unison, all in solidarity. Now, the fifth topic I want to talk about is, oh, I'm gone. What happened here? Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. They took it. I had to change to the computer because I knew this was going to happen. It's all human trafficking. Please tell me if you can hear me, because I knew these criminals were going to do this, but I'm going to continue with the next thing. The entrapment behind V2K. Thank you, Jill. Entrapment behind V2K. I'm going to show you a funny video as an introduction, because this week a federal grand jury indicted Vance Luther. Thank you, Angel. Vance Luther Bolter, the guy that said that Tim Walz set him up to go murder Amy Klobuchar, and that this week they found his manifesto. Okay, well, let me show you what was published this week. Is his handwritten manifesto, supposedly directed at Kash Patel. And the reason why I think this person is a victim of V2K is because he started in his letter, he says he was part of a clandestine political plot. He claims he was trained off the books. This all completely sounds V2K to me. By U.S. military and deployed globally from Asia to Africa. He states that Governor Tim Walz personally approached him to eliminate Democratic Senators Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith to clear the path for Walz to run U.S. Senate. Excuse me. Tim Walz might not be the brightest light bulb, but he wouldn't be so stupid to do this, okay? So in the transcript, he also says that he went back and shot the two people that he shot, and he had an AK pistol and aimed it right at your head, and I could have left a pile of cops dead, but I chose not to protect law enforcement. I really think that this person is probably targeted, and he was actually hearing Tim Walz. But this is look at how the technology. I was shocked to see this technology. Look at how very well it works. Look at this.
So anyway, I'm going to need everyone to look at this little flashy thingy over here. If anyone is wearing sunglasses, please take them off and just look straight into this flashy thingy, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, and 3. Oh shit, I forgot to put my sunglasses on. Did I just zap myself? I can't remember shit.
Okay, so you see that sounded like Pam Bondi and looked like her, but it isn't her. And that's exactly what the V2K does to you. It makes you believe really that it's this person talking to you. And you have to understand that it's an entrapment. It's an entrapment to get you to do things that you should not do. So stop believing these criminals, ignore them, and fight back, please. Listening and reacting to them only empowers them more in the realm of mind control. Okay, now the fifth topic I wanted to talk about, which, because it came up this week, that it seems that many of you still don't understand that the terrorist screening database was created in 2003. The first one was in 2004, supposedly to fight terrorism after 9/11, that we really hope that Senator Ron Johnson unveils the truth about how it wasn't really airplanes and how it wasn't really terrorists and it was an inside job. But that aside, it was an excuse to create the Stasi state we're living in and the terrorist screening database, which 97% of it is comprised of non-investigative subjects as you and me. Now, the FBI distributes the terrorist screening database, including Helen Coast 3 and 4, to 18,000 law enforcement, over 100 corporations, and over 1,200 organizations. What this means is that there are people in those places that have the clearance, the security clearance, to have access to the list. Like many people, everybody and their mother has the list, but targeted individuals. And they spread it to corporations because they want corporations to spy on you and to report, let me show you, to this place called eGuardian. At the stage here, eGuardian. The FBI uses the eGuardian system, which is supposed to be a secure web-based platform to collect and analyze suspicious activity reports. This includes, like I have said many times, she ate a passion fruit ice cream when she was in our shop. While eGuardian is primarily an internal tool for federal, state, and local agencies, it integrates data from corporate entities through established channels, corporate reporting channels, corporations, telecommunications, and social media that report to the FBI everything you do. That is why I tell you, you have to be very vigilant of what you put out there, because these criminals, without probable cause or without reasonable suspicion, are constantly increasing the dossier on you. And they are hiding it in the prohibited access and restricted access files of the Sentinel system in the FBI, because they don't want, under FOIA, to reveal that they are committing crimes against Americans. The reason I say Americans is because the FBI is supposed to be the law enforcement agency here in the United States. Okay? So, yes, the largest 600 companies get the distribution list of the terrorist screening database, and they communicate with the FBI anytime they have an interaction with you. Some corporations, though, have resisted this because they know they have some smart counsel in there that down the line they might be liable to all of us for sharing information without probable cause or reasonable suspicion that we were criminals. So corporations do submit reports through secure portals or encrypted channels. That could be email, a dedicated FBI hotline, or a private sector liaison program. Now, I'm running out of time now, so I just wanted to make sure that you understood that the fact that Masons or whoever you want to think of is behind the program has the list. Yes, they do, because they are comprising the 1,200 organizations. That doesn't mean they run the program. Okay. Now, regarding targeted action, it's going to be from the 5th of September to the 9th. We urge you, we have 2 TIs very active, asking for appointments. We really, really ask you to do the same. It's it's a real shame that we have this great opportunity, and that many of you are not, are not even realizing how important it is that we show up. So please get psyched and get ready. You can go to TI events for the ride share bulletin board, which is up and going. We have merchandise, targeted action merch in bonfire.com and printify.com. I will be adding a little bit more to it this weekend, so check it out, probably Sunday, because it's Ortain made really awesome designs for us. So you're gonna, whether you go to targeted action or not, you might want to remember, when you wear any of our merch, something like that, that makes other people look it up, and that's how one person at a time, we create awareness. So in closing, I just wanted to say the following: this is no time to back off. Remember what Tulsi said. They are fighting back, but we have to fight back harder, because we're fighting for our lives and for freedom from slavery. We're fighting to be able to walk again in the park without having a stupid criminal follow us around. We're fighting to be able to go to a restaurant and not get poisoned. We're fighting to be able to have a good night's sleep without it being interrupted, being sleep deprived, or have horrific dreams imposed on us. We're fighting to have a normal life again. To those that continue to write to me asking for representation because they are the most targeted person in the world, I tell you, stop it. I am fighting for everyone. I'm not just going to fight for one person. My fight is for everybody to be free, even those outside of the United States. The very last one. Even for the mind-controlled evildoers that slander me and targeted justice. I'm fighting for everybody. Like the Three Musketeers used to say, this is all for one and one for all, or nothing. Have that very clear. It's for everybody. I am not going to spend my time only defending 1, 2, or 10 people. This is for everyone. We must stand together in solidarity. Trust God and show up. That's all we need to do. We need to show up and not back off. These monsters are confident that you will back off. But I think it's time for you to disappoint them and to show up and fight back. I hope that this content has, hi Sister Gavi. I hope that my content has been of use to you, and I will be here next week. I really, I thank you for showing up today, and I hope you show up next week, and I hope to have even better news. But I think that Tulsi's clip today was just so amazing, and I really, it's very encouraging, and I think that good things are happening. We just cannot let the criminals bring us down. I get it. I get tortured too, but we cannot ever give up. Have a blessed day. Thank you.